welcome on back to Total Warhammer 3 and part 16 of our Gor-Rok SFO Grimhammer campaign. In today's episode, our Saurus have finally landed on the shores of the Land of the Dead, and we are here to bring down the settlement of Al-Khalabad. We are actually going to fight this one, even though the auto-resolve would probably butcher these poor, unfortunate followers of the Gash here, but we want to try to minimize casualties as much as we can. For there's another army right up here trying to do some recruiting, and I'm sure there's a few just out of reach, lurking around and doing their thing to hide just outside of our vision. So here's going to be the map we are fighting on, a nice little stretch of trees through the middle. What we'll want to do is kind of keep our community tanks in the back, blasting away at these screaming soul catapults, winning where they can, trying to work their way around, and we'll have all of our Saurus hiding in the trees, ready to spring an ambush with a million stalkers, and everyone else, once the Ushabti and the other large targets have gone into the trees where they are no longer effective. This battle started. Alright, so they have this kind of chasm to work with here. We need to pull back, use as many of the trees as we can as defense, set our Blessed Saurus spears up in a bit of a pseudo, or just a dome formation. We'll have our other chameleon skinks in behind, or the red crests. Chameleons are going to come on over. Ross, where's the best place to deploy them? These Nehekara horsemen are incredibly weakened. So I'm thinking it would be a really good call to keep the skinks up top here. I'm going to get them a bit more clumped up. If the enemy notice them, they're going to have a really bad time. But even if those horsemen decide to come on over and give them a piece of their mind, they should be able to win at that duel. It's just going to be if the Screaming Skull Catapult decides to lay into them or not. Or the Feral Cold ones, I am tempted to throw most of them in the back here. I'm going to keep as many as we can hidden. I'm going to throw the Saurus up a bit further so we can hide more of our reinforcements back in these trees here. Red crests closer to the combat, and then we'll have all of the pink cohort with javelin set up here. What we're gonna do is bring the Saurus spears. I want them to hide until it's too late for the enemy, so stay in this position here. Really just want the Scarvet to be the only thing they can see. You even deploy just up front. Are you on your mount? Nope, on foot. Perfect. And we'll have these Skink Thief kind of off to the side here, ready to harass the Tomb Guard, get them all put in poison. So we've got our front line, including our Chameleon Stalkers. All of our missile troops here. Cavalry, and then the boys. Let's set the Chameleon Stalkers up off on the side here. While it is kind of tempting to send them over to try to have them take down the catapults, they will just not perform very well against those Ushabti. They'll get blended apart. And I prefer to save them for when the enemy infantry lines get a bit closer so we can launch out those flaming bolas they hold so dear. Get it started. We'll launch ourselves right off the cliff. Alright, they advance. Keep them up on the other side of this hill here. Screaming Skulls have a ton of range. Alright, they approach. All of our Skinky boys are invisible for now. Well, except for the one. Well, that's not great. That might ruin everything there. Here, you boys come on back around. In fact, try to hide over here in these woods. Even though they know where you're at. They are sending some horsemen to the side. These chameleons are completely in the clear. Although I do see the Ushabti Great Bows moving. They shouldn't be able to spot our chameleons. Have you go ahead and show yourself. Actually, you come over to this side as well here. We don't want the enemy coming to our skinks. You boys get a bit more into a square formation there. Well, that's a whole bunch of wiggling. Bit unnerving. Come on, Tomb Kings. You know you want to get filled full of javelins. You gotta pay extra. Yeah, 2 sets of Mehakara horsemen. Go ahead and push him a bit more up on the other side of this gulf. While we can, they're just gonna keep kind of wiggling around like a weird amorphous hive mind blob. Bring it on, Tomb Kings. Well versed in the Bone Brothers. Just going to keep maneuvering around in a... And I wish we had some magic. Right up on top of this hill here. You have to keep in mind that the Ushabti Greatbow have pretty good accuracy. Go ahead and pull our Saurus back just a smidge. So they're all kind of in a nice group. When those Ushabti do decide to start firing, they know our skinks are up top here. They're just trying to pretend they don't. Bit closer. Trying to keep the camera under control. See what they do when they know the Skink Chief is here. Cavalry might swarm on over, but then we can take them out pretty easily. Drop ourselves down in another Sarlacc pit. Keep moving around behind. He's now noticed. That's the first shot, and with a single dart he brings down into Hekara horseman. Not as lucky the second time there. You have to avoid their shields. That's part of it. They are poisoned, though. Alright, they're going to swarm on over. Let's pull away from the Hekara horsemen. Stalkers are completely invisible. That should be easy for him to survive that. Hidden units are revealed. Yeah, the Chameleon Stalkers are. Start pushing the lads forward. They should annihilate that group of horsemen pretty quickly here. You push out front. You guys flee on away now, back into the trees. We'll have the other Stalkers fall back. You don't want to lose too many of them from the actual artillery blasts there. They should go back invisible as soon as they're back inside the trees there, so we'll just go through the tree line to break line of sight. More than enough. Awesome. Civilians just a bit closer. They don't know you're there, but they would like to. Were they ranging out? Oh, they can see my javelins. Surprising. Can't really react to that. Otherwise, we take lots of damage. Guys, gone in. Focus fire down the Shabti Greatbow. Move these Saurus Spears in. You boys go wide. We'll send 2 of these also. Actually, all 4 of them go take down the Ushabti. They're going to try to flee away, but that's not going to be enough. Saurus move in together on those Hekara warriors. Then you guys go after Ushabti there. We'll bring you 3 forward, start dueling with the Skelly Archers. You guys come out to the side and then dive in with the other Skeleton Archers there. Perfect. Chameleons come ahead and further in there. The enemy will summon in more Ushabti here once we've done enough damage, so push all of the clever girls through the line. Javelins hide in the forest, because I'm guessing this is probably where we'll summon down the Ushabti. Back. Bring down those archers. Let's have you guys kind of scattered on the back line. We'll zoom on in here for some cinematic shots. The Headcar Horsemen are trying their hand against the Clever Girls. Not a strategy I think that is going to work out for them at all. You actually have to attack the Shabti, part of it. Supposed fast attacks are not working out so well. Let's poison in on these Ushabti and then finish the job there. Let's get some of these schemes slung away because the enemy will drop down a curse here in just a moment. Once he starts taking enough damage. But sub out the Clever Girls that are in on the fight. Ripping your way on through. Enemy Tomb King's in there somewhere. He's got a halberd, so he's actually pretty good against the likes of the Feral Cold Ones. Pull most of them on away now. And we'll let the Red Crest come on in and start delivering some bonk. Girls away. Let those the Red Crest do their thing. You two focus the Shabti. Wait for just a moment, then come on back in against the Tomb Prince there. He's been banished. There go the Shabti. Rigid and just fall on over. I guess a couple of the Clever Girls have decided that combat is indeed for them. Fair enough, they've got armor piercing, so as long as he's not doing damage to them back, it's perfectly fine by me. The enemy falls, we'll go ahead and speed that on up. Beautiful. Alright, only 63 fell. That's about what I was looking to minimize it to, so that's perfect. Again, only one alignment. That's fine. We're so close to the max, it's not really an issue. We will go ahead and simply occupy El Kalabad. Don't feel like having to rebuild it. Hide of the Cold Ones. We have a Lizardman wearing Cold One hide. However, the hide exudes a toxic slime that slowly poisons them and dulls their mind. Oh, wow. -8 leadership is not worth these other attributes. But we have completed the short victory, have we? +1 capacity for all heroes and +2 control. I was not even paying a bit of attention, so our short campaign victory was defeat Pestilens, the Pallid Nurslings, the Bloodkeepers, Spittle, then occupy Loot Razor Sack, 30 different settlements. I'm guessing that's what we were waiting on there. And now for the long campaign victory, we need to take down, or at least control all of Lustria, and then take down 70 settlements, which I think for this campaign here, we will likely just be pushing for the long campaign victory, unless something crazy happens. So, Itza, you've earned yourself some new skills. I think it would be best to go for, well, fighting the Tomb Kings, probably the Thick Skin. Black Jor will give the Dance of Death, so he's a bit more survivable in combat. Predatory Fighter for Ball. They should be able to hold El Kalabad, no problem. We will go ahead and delete the spawn pool of the Braves and just shove on in the, I believe this is the Cinnabar building. The Die Maker at the Cinnabar Mine. Awesome. So we also had a event kickoff where we had the option of closing the Druki paths on in or to keep the Black Way open. Collapsing the paths drops your income from all buildings by 10%, so we decided to keep the Black Way open to give ourselves also +12 melee attack while fighting against the Dark Elves, and then we do have to suffer a bit of undivided corruption, but we have that all sorted out. Our corruption reduction is well above the amount of undivided that will be coming on in. We've got Shax moving on up towards Bergone to keep the area safe, and then we can also try to launch another assault on Araby once we have built up enough forces. Big Kevin is coming on over to do battle against the Blood Hall, and then Gor-Rok, we have decided to come on back towards Lustria. We're going to build up his forces even more here, but it does look like Kairos has the south here well locked down, so Operation Oxyotl Revival is on hold for a moment while we retrofit Gor-Rok's army to be even more scary. So we'll We may not push all the way up north towards where the settlement is. We may just sit in camp and do some global recruiting. But we definitely need a couple engines of the gods, all sorts of nasty big beasties to smash up those anti-infantry corps. All the new stuff that is going down. We are building a couple new awesome upgrades across the board here, but I don't exactly remember where they've all been passed out. Just wherever I could throw some money in. The old one monuments trying to get a hold on control, as we are actually gaining much less in terms of income from all of our province buildings, minus 30% or 20% in most cases. We need to get our control sorted, that way we can get more research rate and all these other awesome buffs that come from keeping your province in line. Right then. We shall come on back with Gor-Rok and in the turn. You're wasting our time. He wants us to join his war against the Dune Kingdoms. I don't even know who they are. We can't make enemies that have done nothing to us. Sigmar has begun outpost construction. Yes, we have also signed a expensive alliance with them. How expensive is it to go into a camp and start trying to recruit in big beasties? It's gonna take a few turns, we know that. 6 turns and 7,000 gold. That is a bit too much. So what we will do is let Melvin continue to cause some ruckus down here in the wastes. We'll go into March. And then we'll start running on up towards Oxiel here. That says the farthest up we can go, or the minimum we have to travel. Few turns, and that's fine by me. Let's get moving. Figured we might be able to catch Kairos before he was able to start rebuilding. Such was not the case. Let's pull up the province tab and go through to see which of our temple cities really could use the buildings the most. On. We did go ahead and tear out the Pterodon buildings in a few of those provinces that they were sitting around in. While Pterodons are great, we are not really using them, and wasting the slot where we could go for more growth or income seemed to be not the way. So over here in Tloxlon, I am going to throw in the Geomantic Pylon. Question mark? Yeah, we absolutely will. Lets us get around faster in our own provinces as well. We desperately need, especially with Gor-Rok moving up to do some trading. So we can just go for more gold with the Proxicor Labor District. Kalabad, we can get in the Cinnabar mining pit. Let's go for it. Also drops the upkeep there, so while he is there defending, not really that big a deal for us. Sweet. Let's have Big Kevin land ashore at the Blood Hall and do some damage. Great victory it gives us. Okay, what we will do is build up some towers. That way we can take the fight to them. We do know that she is recruiting up. Hopefully, let's see what the Blood Hall has here. She can get Blackguard, Cold One Knights, or Chariots. All sorts of pretty terrifying options there. Although, if we have the settlement surrounded, is she able to actually do the recruitment, or does that shut that off completely? Find out. Big Kevin, you hold the line. You should be able to beat the gates down yourself with that big old hammer. We'll just set up a couple Lizardmen towers, and we shall continue the siege. Don't you worry, Druki. We have all sorts of awful stuff to throw over the walls. Just you wait, we've been saving it. Where do we strike next? Looks like King Ninza has gone on down south. Pretty nasty force of Cryptors and Sepulchral Stalkers. That looks just like a nightmare. You come on out without taking any attrition? The answer is a hefty no. Ooh, it's a lot of attrition too. And we hold the line in Okalabad. Instead of extra 20% missile and weapon damage, let's go for the ability to not change mine immediately. Weapon damage is pretty important. They come on over. We'll have the hardest time if they move as multiple armies. I think there are multiple in the area. Hopefully King Senna has scared them off. This is a pretty scary army too. Murtisan, I'm going to bring you over to the Star Tower. Out of the settlement. Instead of the Star Tower, over to the Fuming Serpent if you can. Perfect. He's just keeping an eye on all our provinces. He's acting as the Jade Dragon for us. He looks like it's good to go. I will throw in the Labor District here in Tlangsla. Go ahead and pull our diplomacy up real quick.
Submit to your king.
That's not you. That would be Krok.
Speak.
We follow only Krok. Alright, Symbol of Dusk. Defeat Kairos. A tall order, but we'll get to it. He wants us to either take down Arondez and Ninza, or a Minhonut. Famous cinnamon donuts of Nehekara. I think we'll just go after a Ninza here for 16. Exawaddle is either of the two lords here. Arwenil gives us a bit more, but I think he will have the better chance of hunting her down. Go for it though, just in case. 16 allegiance points. That's good to me. Come on down to the Blood Hall then, and we shall end the turn. Alright, the Blood Hall Coven does strike on out against us. They've got a few extra reinforcements coming on in, but we have a big angry crocodile to chase down your spellcasters. Spirit Leech will do a fair bit of damage, but he's got 10% spell resistance and a bit of ward save, so hopefully we can shrug some of that off. Black Archers here, so we will probably send the Pterodons and the cold ones over to do some damage to this first group. Then from there, we deal with the reinforcements. That'll be good. Okay, so I'm guessing they are going to deploy pretty much around the corner here, which makes sense. Let's start deployment. This is a map we have fought on recently for the Jade Dragon, but our swords are actually quite a bit faster than the Jade Warriors are. Let's grab spears and the Blessed Saurus. Their job is just to push up the side while we run down this first group. Like so, but slightly behind, because I'm going to have Nakai and his Power Fist Rock support moving up the same angle there. Lightning Skink as well. All 4 of our Feral Cold ones. Stegodon as well, because it gives us a bit more armor. And actually, if anyone needs to get shot by the Reaper Bolt Throwers, I would prefer it be the Stegodon. You hiding behind the big boys. We'll have the Pterodons pushing up this angle. Either diverting the Reaper's attention, or avoiding it altogether. Hopefully the second one. Have all the beastie archers together. You chameleons need to go on the side. They'll be great at dueling those black arcs, but they want to do so while invisible. If we can help it. Go for all of the infantry and our cold ones together, and then all the big beasties. Alright, Big Kevin. Let's get this going. They did deploy all the way in the back. That's pretty awesome. They could retreat further. Alright, Big Kevin, your job is to hunt down the sorceress there. I think they're all going to arrive before we can close that gap. So let's do what we can, though. You guys moving up through the forest. They're completely invisible, so if we can get them in and actually get them firing. Some really good damage. Sneaking them in is the hard part, though. Up to about this angle, because I think we aren't going to get... We are not going to get to them before the reinforcements arrive. Is unfortunate. We'll probably change our strategy a bit, so... You guys go on back. Not a lot we can do about it. You with those bolt throwers are going to actually make purchase. That's fine. Pull back. Same as with the Jade Dragon here. They attacked us, so they will be making that advance our way. One pull back. Those reinforcements. Umbral Tide, come on around. Chameleons, I'm going to bring you up and around as well. You, 4, just come back into these trees here. They're still able to fire, are they? You guys should all fall back. Back around the corner here. They are forced to advance on us. We are very thankful they've only got the one Reaper Bolt Thrower. They don't tend to switch it between the multi-target and a single target, so we'll likely get lots of free units that are getting slaughtered. Much more devastating in the normal mode. Back behind. You boys behind the line as well. Looks like the Harpies are being sent forward first. That works for me. Chameleons come behind the Umbral Tide here. We're going to let them start ripping shots in. And once they get a little bit closer, the Chameleons can help. Back far enough that they don't know you're here. That didn't actually land. Send the clever girls in. Harpies are well gone. Bring the Chameleons back and the cold ones. Old ones dive in while you start blasting. You need to keep in mind that other stuff is actually trying to move towards them now, but all of their archers are on this side, which is an interesting strategy, I can't lie. These Cold One Knights, go ahead and pull you guys back so those Dark Shards aren't doing too much damage there. Lots of missile resist on our Chameleons, not as much on the Pterodons. In fact, there's almost none on the Pterodons. Our Cold Ones were sacrificed there. Rest in peace. Blackguard. Firing, we're gonna go ahead and have Umbral Tide keep blasting on our way into the Blackguard as well. Slows them down, we get plenty of extra damage. Getting the Dark Shards forward first, scoop people back just a little bit more. Have the other two Pterodons dive into melee. Oh, I guess I grabbed the wrong ones. Out of melee with you. Really poor Micro's gonna get these boys smooshed here. Dive on into melee with these Dark Shards up front. Two of you together should do plenty of damage. Really? Decided not to keep charging? Keep falling back there, chameleons. Umbral Tide can come on forward once more and start blasting some shots in. We need the clever girls to get away from the Blackguard of Nagarond. Keep falling back. Send this group of clever girls into the Blackguard. Melee to finish that group off. Let's keep falling back. The ones that can there. Start pushing the Saurus towards the enemy. We're going to be losing a lot on that Stegodon. Black Orc Corsair is actually doing a fair bit of work. He has already rampaged out. Let's drop down the Randus Thunderbolt on all of these Dark Shards up front here. We're gonna start blasting into this group of Blackguard. Have the chameleons with the javelins move in on that group. Black Orc Corsairs. Back line. Umbral Tide, I guess they got rampaged out, so they're going to charge on into melee and get completely eviscerated by those halberds there. Butchering our way through. Harmonic Convergence for Hammers of Itza here. Be stubborn to die. We'll have you guys push through. And on these Dark Shards, let you do the same. Just push through to the Dark Shards. Keep the damage flowing on. Probably this unit of Bleak Swords here. Or you ran into Thunderbolt. Go ahead and hit these Reaper Bolt Doors. Force them to retreat. Them. Pull back. Quickly, quickly. You gotta know a bombing run's coming. Gotta try to dodge it. And there it is. And go ahead and land and do some. Those are Black Orc Corsairs, never mind. Pull away from that nonsense. That's noise you guys don't want. Keep retreating. You let the forces get way too split up there. Now we can start doing some serious damage to the actual mages in our way. Land up those Dread Spears, deal with this Death Hag up front. Let you boys move in on the Blackguard. Harmonic Convergence on these Crocs of Gore. Let them get involved with the Blackguard. They're about to get sandwiched, unfortunately. Yeah, no, our skinks on the south skirts here are having all sorts of troubles. Rock in a hard place. Go ahead and shut them down. Flee from the Blackguard there. They are not brace, so she will do some fair damage as he blends on through with the base. He dodged the Thunderbolt though. And there's the victory. We did way worse than the auto-resolve predicted, but quite a fun battle there. I'm gonna go ahead and hunt down as many of these Druki as we can, just so we don't have to deal with any reinforcements, and I'll catch you all in a moment. We'll take the Pyrrhic victory as 281 of our own fell here. Not too bad at all. We will go ahead and exterminate as there's almost nothing left, and we'll take the armor and research rate. Line of Sotek Dwarves has had their mission complete. Out here being bounty hunters. Got a fan waiver now. Hey, excellent job. Plays quite well. You fail. Ooh, you don't want to know. 4 new Blessed Chameleons, which is awesome. And we'll go ahead and claim the Blood Hall now for, I guess, Hexwaddle. We fight in Mazdamundi's name. We're going to sack the settlement first, of course. We need to give Mazdamundi a fully functioning settlement, of course. We take some gold from it first. As is our right. I'm gonna occupy as is. Station aborted. Oh, we needed to kill or wound Jeshia, and we just failed to do that in time. Such is the way. We will go ahead and then grab him, I guess, 10% more hit points from here. Because that's what we were rolling through, was giving him his extra weapon strength. Giving him more hit points seems like a good call as well. Protection of the old ones is just spell resistance. Here we go for just more speed. Let's do speed first, and we'll come on back over and go for the Wound Maker. Double up on that. Up in the 700s of his weapon strength, which is pretty terrifying. Rolling Skies will be good when we are fighting against Harpies like we just were, but let's go for another point into Thunderbolt there. Making it a bit more cost effective. Alright, we don't have to do any repairing, and we'll go ahead and just grab Mazdamundi's attention. Hey buddy, I got a blood haul for you. We have 9,000 gold in a military alliance. We get even more gold? Ooh, we could indeed. Well, no more gold. We'll take the military alliance. Sold. You have the wisdom of the first spawning. Oh, I do indeed. 79 negative for the Confederation. Yeah, he's pretty powerful. We should probably let Marathi do some damage. But at the very least, all we would really have to do is come on up towards the north here, take a couple of these settlements, and offer it to him in return for a Confederation, which is kind of strange how that works, but we'll take it.
My dynasty
Actually, I think it's a good idea to grab the opportunity to get a bunch of our military access buildings here. So, Citadel of Dusk for sure. With the Sun and Moon Dragons, so let's grab it at the Citadel of Dusk. Their most defensive settlement there. Moon Dragon, Sun Dragon, and then the War Lions of Trace. Sure, we could get some archers, but dragons. Let's see, actually, how close are we to confederating with Sotek? Let's, in the meantime, grab some Dawi. Sotek would be great, though. How close are we to confederating with you there, Tehidawin? Not too far away. I think if he takes some damage from Kairos, we should have a pretty good chance of getting him on side. It does look like it's a ways away. Let's go ahead and grab the outpost in both here and Hexawaddle. That way we can get some much scarier units. Golden Colossus, Great Turtle Isle. The ones that give me more Bastiladons is what I'm looking for. Golden Colossus, a major settlement. Okay, provincial capital, that works for me. And then over here with Hexawaddle. Guys have for me. Howhawks is probably the best call unless I can get Hexawaddle itself. That's the way. Ooh, they've got Coattles for me. Thank you, Mazdamundi. Cult of Sigmar, we could get even some Dimogryph Knights or Knights of the Blazing. That seems pretty spicy. Let's do it. We're going to get all of the Alliance buildings we can. So, Mine of the Bearded Skulls. Is this your provincial capital? Yep. That's the one we will extra defend then. And now, we have still plenty of gold. Outposts going in everywhere there, so we should soon be able to get lots of new allied troops. For Gor-Rok's army, I do want to try to grab some allied artillery for sure. You keep moving up towards Ketza. Gigantic Spire. Good call, but we're gonna grab Floating Gardens everywhere we can for that increase to our upkeep, or increase to our income, rather. We are having to wait, in most cases, for the final tier. Lotto. Let's grab the Geomantic Pylon whenever we can. They're always so expensive, but so very worth it. Let's go for Meat Storage Hall if we can get it first, and then we'll grab the Grand Plaza. We are out of money. Dax, get up here to Burgone. We'll probably give you the chameleons that we have in Blessed Reserve there. Wreck. I believe this is the one that is just... Let's go ahead and recruit up Murtazin, a new force. We'll sit him into the Astromancy stance. We'll get him a nice skeeky army. This stance, Corrupted Dynasties. Summon a White King hero to aid you in battle. Excuse me, what? Then more weapon strength for vampire units. Vampiric corruption. That's lovely. Inzit-Tep, we should probably get rid of King and Itza here. His army is pretty terrifying, though. Good grief.
My servant fails me.
Cryptors have lethal poison. That's limited. Smack. Play things correctly. He is only on a chariot, so he's not nearly as scary as he could be. Lich Priest is also on a chariot. Are you all rolling around on battle carts? Except for the Tomb Prince. He is a large target, so he's probably on horseback. Sepulchral Stalkers don't have great melee stats. Missiles are devastating. They have made a mistake coming on into enemy territory here.
Do not betray your king. This is forbidden.
Got the Black Pyramid under control. Just trying to figure out where we should go next, or what the course of action is. Men's force at El Kalabat is not weak. Got about half health.
My faith in you wanes.
We're just gonna have to hold back on that one. Get attacked by two armies here. We're in a really bad place, though. That's very concerning. Kairos did come back over to the Sin Hall. He's basically just playing defense for everyone right now. He's not even trying to attack anyone, just kind of waddling around and stopping them from having fun. Which is the way to beat Siege. Go ahead and stay in the battle march stance there. We'll just wait. Very concerning to do so. But if King and Ninja attacks us, then we have the advantage there because he has to charge towards us. If we attack him, he can sit back up on a hill and do nothing. So no matter what we do have to wait. Right, let's come on in and do what to do. No arguing, no agreement, only death. Hope he doesn't decide to declare war on us randomly. He wants military access for 1,200. Sold. He did retreat. He called his bluff. I'm tempted to come on over here and attack King Almond Donut. Let's go get him. You should have been more brave, King Ninja. Oh, well, that's not good. We'll switch back into encamp stance then. We've now irritated. Ah, that was his plan. He was trying to make us irritate Ellie Drew here. Well, that worked.
Do not betray your king.
Ah. The trap has been sprung. Here's what we'll do with El Kalabad, because I don't think we'll be able to hold it.
Approach
Hello,
us, friend,
Volkmar.
and make your offer.
Would you like El Kalabad? Oh, you would. Thank you for the gold.
Bless you, my child.
Alright, we're getting a bit personal now. I'm out of here.
Tomb King of Nehetar.
Blackwell wants a non-aggression pact.
Submit to your
Probably a good idea to grab this while we can. Give me your single coin. In sublimation. Tic-tac-toe.
Attend your king, slaves.
Imri is fighting against
The imperishable.
Volkmar.
Your tribute, thrall, for it is a privilege to be in my presence.
Man, Cetra, you are the best. We're gonna take your money. I'm not gonna trade with you, but I am gonna take the non-aggression. You and Volkmar can sort out your differences. I'm not gonna trade with the Dune Kingdoms or Cetra because they have no money, really. For the vast richness that they had in life, they no longer do. Tomb Raiders being what they are. Alright, Gor-Rok, we are almost home. Anyone follow you? Deuces. No. We are going to go ahead and kick out. We're actually going to keep our Saurus, not these guys here, when we have another set of Blessed Ones. But for now, the Saurus stay because they actually have higher melee attack and defense than our Temple Guard, as well as more weapon strength. So they are more of an actual beater. We will keep them to use them as such. Those last few cold ones, though, are going to find a new home. We might just grab an extra Blessed Cold One Spear Rider there. Pretty solid, and I like having an even number of cavalry. These are just cold ones, but we don't really have any space for horned ones just yet. We'll grab one more Blessed Spear One right here in a moment, but since we can recruit them on the fly, we'll do so then. Gor-Rok, can you reach Itza this turn? No. We'll stay in march then. I don't mind kicking out of the units that we are going to be getting rid of, which at the moment is none of them. Murtisan. Have you go into global recruitment. And I'll have you snag Salamander pack. So expensive in global ever. I don't really care about you recruiting as much as I do Gor-Rok. So let's just make sure we make more gold first and foremost. On more turns before we get up to the tier 4s. Let's just take the Fuming Serpent up. Building in the Awakened for more gold as well. 10% more income from all buildings. Great when you have a bunch of different ports in the area. Labor District as well, and then we can also throw in the Stone Marker. Growth building. All sorts of good stuff. Alright, Big Kevin. You were needed elsewhere. Ooh, Mysterious Island. Just keep you on your journey. They'll replenish just by being out and in the sea, since we may not control this area, but it's now no longer contested. Patra Baba. Give you a bit more health. I think it is a good call to give you the Commune with Beasts for a bit more bonus v large. Putting you up to 45 with the Bone Crusher as well. It's pretty devastating. Hunter of the large units you are now. Who hasn't been moved? Oh, Shax. That's a chance for now. Another unit we're going to have you start recruiting up as soon as Gor-Rok's done, and then we'll send him out to start gathering the goodies around. His job might be to come up here and smush a certain maelstrom, putting a stop to all hurricanes for all time. Actually, I'm curious about coming over to Inzitep and seeing how things play out. Gor-Rok the weapon, you the target. Gor-Rok the predator missile. I have a generous offer to lay before you, Lizardmen of Lustria. Doesn't seem very generous. Do I need permission to walk in your lands? Probably not. Let's be real honest. The right of resilience. Ooh, it's time. Mission issued. Respawn. Recruit some melee infantry. We gain a combat focus for melee. Sounds good. We'll use that when we're dropping in alignments. Nothing's going on, and since we handed El Calabat off, this may be what we do with Inzatep's army. He is in charge of purging all of the undeath here. Ellie, what are you holding here? Black Tower. Nothing too dangerous.
Deckhands, fall in.
Boarding crew. We've met you guys. What, Dorskin Sartosa Raiders? Very cool. Storm, Rowdy. A lot of weapon strength in those guys. Boarding crew is also very dangerous. Plus 200% armor piercing, melee, and missile damage, as long as their hit points are greater than 50%. Midnight Cutlass. 200% though. Powder, man. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna figure out who is at war with Ellie.
Come, frog bastard. What have you got to bargain?
Come, frog. Well, that's fantastic. The Border Princess, Clan Scryer, and the Disciples. So she's kind of a good guy, but she's not. I would like to fight you, I can't lie.
My faith in
This king is gonna retreat. Sneaky then. Go to a camp stance, and we will just kind of scoot on through towards Zondri. I'm gonna go ahead and attack Zondri and probably hand it off to Cetra. Amusing. No one's gonna do anything to Inzatep while he's moving around unless they can get all of these armies over here at the same time. So, as long as we stay mobile, we shall be safe. We jump into Itza and let's do some recruiting. Even think Jotek's messengers might find a new home. We only have 2 slots. Here's what we'll do. Let's go ahead and kick these guys back to the drawing board there. Take them 10 turns to come on back. And when they do arrive, someone will make good use of them. Gor-Rok himself. Agent of the Gods has a much less range. We just need to go for normal Stegodons. Pretty terrifying damage with their giant ballistas they have on their backs. 125 range is not a ton. Solar engine one for sure. Yeah, we'll grab a ballista. We need artillery to be fighting against Deech right now. If we could have a bunch of lads blasting bonus versus large shots on over, Deech is gonna have a really bad day. See if we can grab anyone else. We've got to wait a bit. That's fine. I'm happy to wait. Well, we've got some upgrades going in on Gor-Rok's forces, and we'll be able to get much more as the time progresses. I think we're just going to grab another Stegodon. That way we have 2 of the laser cannons and then 2 ballista launchers. Now I'm going to be out of time for today. I've been Space Was a Good Award. Remember to leave a like for the like god and a sub for the sub thumb. See you on the next one.